It's your boy Vari, and today we're going to be talking about the David situation. Now, if you're not sure about the situation, or maybe you've seen it on your timeline as of recent, and you're not sure what's really been going on, I'll try to help as much as I can about this. So basically, this all starts about a year ago, April 5th, 2024, where a young woman named Celeste Rivas went missing in Lake Elsinore, California, right? And so her family says that she may have been dating a man by the name of David, right? And if you don't, and so mid 2024, a teacher of Celeste actually claims that she briefly ran away with David, or the David that we might know of after meeting up online. And so if you also and as I've been following this, it seems that they've been had a somewhat not prominent online, not platform, but they've just been online a lot, right? Especially for the fact that they're both Gen Z. I'm not that much older or younger than either of them, right? I'm older than Celeste and I'm younger than David, but not by a lot when it comes to between me and David, right? And so then summer rolls around, and so the Tesla that Celeste's body was found was was abandoned in Hollywood Hills for about a month or so, and then it's sent to a tow yard or an impound lot. And so the staff end up noticing a very foul odor from the car, coming from the car, because dead bodies fucking smell. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah. So they end up noticing this, and then they end up opening the front of a Tesla, right? Because if you didn't know about Teslas, they have two trunks. They have a back trunk that almost virtually every car has, and then they have a front trunk, which is with Teslas, because of the battery, it allows for a front one as well, right? Now with the autopsy at hand, the one that confirms that it was Celeste Rivas, that's now 15. Though the only thing is that technically she was dead at 14, technically. But the thing is, her birthday passed, because her birthday is on the 8th. But we don't have to get into the semantics on this. We don't. And then And then about 2 weeks later, on the 18th, the 17th, my bad. LAPD ends up searching David's home in Hollywood Hills, where he had been staying. They end up seizing some computers and a couple other things as well. Right, and at the current moment, that the LAPD confirms that the detectives are following several leads, and it looks like multiple different investigations at the current moment, right? And so following all of this, right, so David has decided to cut back parts of his tours and stuff, and some of his collabs with some others, and other people that have been close with David or have collaborated with David on in music and whatnot, started distancing themselves, most notably being Kali Uchis and Jason Ween, if you're familiar with him. All right, he's a streamer that also makes some half decent rock music. I'm sorry, my fault, Jason. And then and then also at around the same time, Celeste's family end up releasing their own statement about the whole thing, and they also start a GoFundMe for her funeral and the funeral costs. It's actually about 80% of the way there, last I checked, but it might be higher now. I will put a link down there just so you guys could show some support. Please just if you can donate. I'm not gonna hold you at gunpoint for anything. I don't think you're a bad person, obviously, or anything. The thing is, at the current moment, I'm not able to donate. I wish I could, though. All right, I'm broke. Okay. So let's talk about the victim for a little bit now. So the victim is a young girl named Celeste Rivas, and she was missing for about a year, right? Now, she was missing in April 5th, 2024. And then, right? And so she was found dead on September 7th, 2025. So as of the time recording this, it has been about 13 days since her body was found. Roughly, right? So we could just put that as 2 weeks, right? And one of the main things about this entire case is the fact that on the autopsy, it found a tattoo on her finger that says "shh," right? And that is a tattoo that her boyfriend David had, right? And she was wearing some leggings, a tube top, a bracelet, and some earrings, but that's not really necessary. That doesn't really matter for the case it is. The main thing is the tattoo, right? The "shh" tattoo, right? Now, the thing is, the current cause of death has not been found out, and it looks like it's been deferred and undetermined for the time being, mainly for the fact that one, her body was found heavily decomposed and dismembered, which is a little bit confusing, right? And at the current moment, David is actually working and cooperating with police, but the thing is, no one has been formally named or been arrested as the primary suspect of the current case, right? Now, the thing is, right, is that one, who last drove and abandoned David's Tesla, right? And how long was that body inside of the car until it was found, right? Now, since for the fact that one, since it is California we're talking about, it is quite hot, right? So obviously bodies and, being in a hot car, it could be very quickly your body will decompose, especially if you just leave it sitting in a hot car, right? Right. And if you didn't know, one, even if it's 70 degrees outside, one, an unattended child can die within I'm pretty sure 30 minutes of being unattended, even if it's 70 degrees outside, right? That's how hot cars get, right? And so, and even surprisingly, one, there's been a lot of creepy things about what David has done in the past, and some skeletons, to say the least, in his closet, especially when it comes to some of the songs that he's made, and there's a lot of the imagery that goes on, right? Especially in his most popular song, Romantic Homicide, and the fact there's an unreleased track that's been leaked online mentioning Celeste, and the fact that there may have been multiple mentions of Celeste. And the thing is, one, David has been on stream with Celeste at least 2 different times, years ago, and I'm pretty sure so yeah. Now, one of the main things is that one, it's unknown who did this, right? Or what is the timeline. So I'm going to put the timeline, at least how we understand it now, right? And then I'll also put my own personal timeline of what I think happened, and I will try to give my own personal motive, right? So obviously, let's get into this, right? So April 5th, 2024, Celeste goes missing, correct? So that means, so this could be that she ran away, she was kidnapped, we don't know, right? So months go by, we don't know. Maybe she's just hanging out with David, doing whatever, and then at some point something happens, right? And then for all of it, and then the car that that David owned, right? Whoever was driving it ends up abandoning it in Hollywood Hills for over a month, right? It's abandoned. Then the car ends up getting impounded in September. And so the tow staff end up walking around and they notice a foul odor in the yard. And so then they end up finding out, oh, there's a body in the front, right? And then the police get onto this, and then then they end up doing an autopsy, and they confirm about 2 weeks later from when her body was found that, oh, okay, the remains were Celeste. She's now at the current time. They want to ID her, and they noticed a tattoo on her what's it called, pointer finger, right? And then a couple days later, they end up searching David's Hollywood home where he had been staying. Now I'm pretty sure he didn't own the place, but he just been staying there for quite a while too, right? It could have been a couple months, maybe a year or something. Maybe he just hasn't bought a home, which is pretty common, especially for the fact that, the Cali housing market's really bad. So yeah. And then we get to right now, where now David has decided to cancel merch sales, especially one of a bloody shirt. It was more of a, what's it called, like a sweatshirt, where it was it's like a white sweatshirt and then it has a bunch of blood on spots instead. I'll put pictures of everything I'm talking about on screen, but right. And he ends up canceling some tours, and he ends up parts of his world tour and some concert dates that he had lined up literally weeks and days ahead out from it. And then we get to now where people are now starting to quickly start distancing themselves from David as this goes on, right? And then Celeste ends up at least her family ends up releases a statement and then starts to GoFundMe. Now, my personal idea, or who wanted her dead, or more like why she was killed, I've seen, and it seems quite possible, this could be absolutely wrong, obviously, right? This entire statement could easily be made for retraction at any given time, right? And if I'm completely wrong, a week or two later, I will probably come back and then have this video edited, or just give a big warning that this is retracted. I'm wrong. But anyways, but the main thing is that Celeste, the main reason why I think Celeste was most likely killed is that Celeste was 14 right before, up until her death, was about 14 around her death time, right? And so the thing is that is one, obviously David is 20. That makes him, that is a crime, obviously. He's a and a right? He had Celeste for over like 4 years or so, right? Because they initially had met in 2021 or so. 2021 or so, when she was 11. So yeah, that's quite disgusting. I cannot lie to you. So they met in 2021 when she was 11, and he would have been around 16, 17-ish, give or take, right? Now in 2021, I was a freshman in high school. So, all right, I just want to give that perspective. So she would have been like a 6th grader, which I can't lie to you, this is so disgusting putting this into terms. Yeah, she would have been a 6th grader, right? Because she's 15. Yeah, she would have either just started high school this year, or she would have been like a freshman in high school, either freshman or sophomore. Depends on how old you are. So yeah, but the main idea is that David had. Now the thing is that David loved her, right? Obviously. And so you wouldn't just kill somebody, especially a lover, for no reason, unless you have something to hide. And so I feel, and it has to be something big, right? Now there's one of two reasons why I think David either had her killed or killed her himself. And somehow the evidence doesn't point towards him. Now I'm leaning towards the fact that he had someone kill her. Mainly for the fact that I'm pretty sure that none of the evidence has there's no fingerprints or there's no blood, there's no DNA or anything of David's DNA on the body or anything like that, at least at the current moment. So what I feel is that he had someone do it in his stead. But what specifically? One of two things. Number one, David had gotten Celeste pregnant, which could be something that could be very much where it's like if she squeals, it basically kills David's entire career. He's arrested, all this, right? Could absolutely murk his entire career, right? Or number two, Celeste wanted out. She wanted to get out of the situation that she was in, because we don't know what happened behind the scenes, right? Especially in David and Celeste's relationship, right? David could have been absolutely manipulative, abusive, and could have been, all sorts of, physical, mental, and sexual abuse that could have been going on behind the scenes that we do not know. And so obviously, maybe her deciding that she wanted to get out of the situation, she attempted to get away, but maybe someone got to her before she could escape, and then they end up killing her, dismembering her, and then putting her in the car. But the thing is that why would you purposely leave the car away, just abandon the car that has a dead body inside? So I have a feeling that the motive might have been accidental, not exactly that this was a purposeful killing. I don't think this is something that this was not like a premeditated idea of killing her. They most likely just wanted to silence her but not kill her, just because it would have rose more eyebrows if she was dead than if she was alive, right? For the most part. Now the main thing is that how did David manage to get away with being in such an illegal relationship with a minor for so long, and kind of just went under the radar, right? Especially with how many people he ended up working with and all the people around him, and especially in his music, life, friends, etc. Which is the second thing as well, right? And the thing is that it would seem a lot more reasonable for David, at least, or his team, or whoever he works with, to not want Celeste dead, right? Now, I will say that it is very much a confusing time for a lot of us, right? And so the internet has responded, especially with a lot of cries, for Celeste, right? And reasonably so. And there are some people trying to defend David that's saying he didn't do it. But I will say that I think that either he didn't do it himself, right? I don't think he went out there and killed Celeste, but I think he had set her up to be murdered, right? right? Or, you know, intentionally or unintentionally right? He was responsible for the death of Celeste. But the main thing is, one, even if he did not do this, the only thing is that, one, for the people who are trying to defend, I will say is that, do I want to give David the benefit of the doubt? Not really. But I will say this, is that this could be the absolute most insane fucking goddamn setup in like all of human history. This is like a setup that we've not seen since like OJ Simpson in the 90s, right? And for David to somehow get out of this scot-free or minimal punishment, he would somehow have to have a mistrial out of hell for him to get away at the current moment. But does it seem likely that it was, does that seem likely, especially with modern DNA and modern DNA testing, and modern technologies when it comes to, you know, forensics and whatnot? I really doubt it, right? For the fact that, one, like, yes, David is influential, but I don't think he has as much pull as someone like maybe OJ Simpson did, at least in that case, right? Mainly for the fact that, one, it's like, yeah, David was a household name, but he was more in line with younger people. And so with OJ Simpson, it was more for the fact that he was a household name nationwide compared to David. So yeah. Now, I will say is that David's a pedophile and a groomer, and fuck him. Fuck David, man. Like, it's a shame too, because I wasn't a fan of anything. I didn't listen to his music, right? But the main thing is that, like, I kind of liked what he did because he seemed cool. He had a cool look about him. He had a cool look. His music was pretty good. I kind of fucked with a lot of his like image because it seemed pretty cool. He's young. He's, you know what I'm saying? He's very expressive. And I thought, okay, I really fucked with it because he seemed really like himself, right? He seemed very Gen Z, like felt like someone I could relate to, sort of. And so it really puts like, it brings a lot of strain to a lot of Gen Zers, at least. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm not here to say, this is not a video defending David at all. This is like the opposite of that, all right? And to Celeste Rivas, I just want to say rest in peace. And I hope that you were laid to rest and buried as is proper. You were a victim. And I'm assuming you tried to get out of it, but sadly you were killed for trying to escape. And for that, you are a martyr. All right, Celeste. I hope you rest up well in the afterlife. Okay. All right. If you guys like this, just like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. I tried my hardest not to be like funny or anything with this video, so I'll see y'all in the next one though. All right. I got a lot more planned in the upcoming days and stuff. I have a lot of videos I have to get out. So yeah. Peace.